All right, guys, we good to go?
Yeah.
All right, awesome. So let me pull up our. All right, we've got about 45 on, plus the guys on the stage. We've got a very special call for everybody tonight. We will be revealing over stage audio Malachi Wright, the man, the myth, the artist behind all things Monkz. Excited to introduce him. And guys, I know you had a great conversation just in the voice chat, the general voice chat yesterday. Seems like everybody was loving the content that Hofuku Jang was throwing down in there, and some of the other guys on the team. So we've got a full house. We've got Josh up on my end, top right corner. We've got PJ, our lead developer. We've got Henry and Chinter, our community management staff team. Sorry guys, the team. We've got Hofuku Jang, another co-founder, and then Malachi the artist. So Patrick, Josh, Jang, I don't know if you guys want to lead anything off
Yeah.
from the start. Go for it, Josh.
Yeah. So we wanted to get Malachi on here tonight to really, talk about his background, his involvement with this project. And I'll start off by saying, with obviously you guys know I come from I started a print on demand, a global marketplace for artists. Have been working on that the last 5 years, sold the company in November. And when meeting with Jang and PJ, the goal was always to obviously get the best artists, right? Because obviously the utility is amazing, but at the end of the day, the front end, it has to be what it needs to be, right? To keep guys engaged and continue to be excited. So it was one person that came to mind amongst all of the artists that I've worked with. Malachi, he's been with within my company for 2 years as a partner. Um, he's done over $1 million in generated revenue for his actual physical prints, recognized globally. So it was a pleasure to have him join our team, and I'm glad to have you here, Malachi. So what we're going to start with is basically Malachi is going to talk about his background, and any questions that you guys have for him, feel free to jump right in.
And for everybody
Hear me?
listening live, we've got the AMA questions channel is opened up. So head over there and start asking your questions and interacting with us in the chat. Off to you, Malachi.
Yo, how y'all doing? But just
Kind of breaking up.
let me switch my headphones real quick.
Malachi, you're breaking up.
I heard headphones real quick, so I think he's switching up the audio mechanisms
yeah.
here.
Thing to know about Malachi is he's currently a sophomore at UCLA. Kid, well, I'll tell you a little backstory. Malachi, when I reached out to him, he had about 100 and maybe 10,000 followers at the time. This is August of 2019. And I was trying to get in touch with the guy, but he was so hard to, he just wouldn't check his DMs, or I don't know. It was before I had the blue check. Maybe he was ignoring me. Who knows? But
You guys hear me better now?
yeah,
Yeah, there you are, man.
you great.
Yeah, much better.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I heard Josh's story.
I
I
was
definitely what was you saying?
I was just telling him how we met and how we had to get on a Zoom call with your family, because at the time I think you were 17 or so, and I'm an entrepreneur out in LA, and I'm pitching hard, recruiting artists, trying to recruit the best talent. It felt almost like you were a five-star athlete in high school, man. But yeah, we'll
Yeah.
kind of talk about your journey. Let the folks know, how long you've been designing and just your art, your journey as an artist.
Yeah, well, yeah, basically I'm from Chicago, a small like village within Chicago called Dixmoor. And I come from a family of five. My mother is an artist too, and also my brother. So like the art really like kind of runs in the family. My dad, he's a carpenter. He's always like building stuff. So he's pretty much our house. You can almost say he built, the interior with his hand, because he's always, building something, changing something. You know what I'm saying? Pretty much the room that we stand upstairs. My pops built that. My other brother is an actor. Like I mentioned, another one of my brothers is an artist. So like I pretty much like been surrounded by art my entire life. Pretty much all I can remember is drawing. Like I really don't remember a time in my life where I wasn't drawing. So a lot of people like ask me like, when did I start drawing? Like I pretty much that's what I've been doing. I popped out the womb. I feel like But yeah, I love art. Right now, I'm at UCLA. I'm a second year design and media arts major. So I'm just trying to continue to just grow as an individual and as an artist and just as a person. Just to I got a lot of stuff planned for myself and within my business and my art for the future. So I'm excited really to just keep on working.
Wonderful, man. I see there's a question here. Do you hold a contract with any other major corporations? Also, how many prints did you make to generate over 1 million rev?
Well, I feel like the second part of the question is definitely something that probably could be
Yeah.
answered better by Josh. But the first half of that question, what was it again? I'm sorry.
In terms of, do you have any contracts with major corporations? I know you've done a lot
So like,
with ESPN and sports.
Yeah, so pretty much most of the work that I do for like other companies or individuals, it's normally like I guess it was just like a a contract piece. It's nothing necessarily like where like they have me, part of this company, you know what I'm saying? So like I'm on a contract. So whenever they need some work done, they just hit me. It's more like when they want something done, they'll reach out to me, and then like we would establish a contract for the project. It's not like overall contract for the individual
Right.
just for the work as a whole.
Yeah. And the second answer, the second part of that question would be, he sold roughly 20,000 units to generate that 1 million in revenue. He was we pay our artists a royalty of every design sold. So he's an extremely successful artist. I would say probably one of the most visible artists on paid media. So that kind of just rolls it right into the next question. Majority of people that are understanding you're part of this project, they're very excited. Obviously, you designed one of Snoop Dogg's last albums. How did that relationship come to be? How did that commission come to be?
Yeah, well, that basically that image was a picture that I just did, basically myself, image I created, like majority of the work that's on my Instagram, pretty much all of it, a piece I created, and then Snoop has seen it on Instagram. He commented on the picture and said that he wanted to make it his album cover. So from there, I reached out to him, and then we pretty much got the ball rolling. He connected me with his people, and then they made it happen. It was definitely a amazing experience because he saw the picture within an hour of me like even posting it. So it was just amazing at that moment. Like, wow, Snoop Dogg really just seen my art and said he wanted to make his cover off the first glance, seeing the image. So it was definitely a moment that made me realize, like, wow, it's a blessing, you know what I'm saying? This kind of stuff definitely doesn't happen to everybody. So like it's a moment, I can't take for granted, you know what I'm saying? It's a moment I definitely gotta just like keep on like, have more moments like this. I feel like when I have moments like that in my life, it kind of just like I feel like people could get stuck in the moment. And I'm like, I'm at a point like even when those moments happen, like I appreciate them so much. But then I just get to a point where like, man, what's next? You know what I'm saying? Like I need to have another, something else. You know what I'm saying? Because it's always room for improvement, always room to do more.
Absolutely. Well, I think we're onto that next moment with CryptoMonkz. Maybe kind of speak to. Obviously, this is a very new tech. We're probably a year within. Really, people. Well, not even a lot of people understand what NFTs are, and the impact that it's going to have on artists. For myself, working with so many artists and now seeing the huge potential with them having the ability to have ownership, right? A lot of things, especially with art, it's plagiarized, copyrighted. We've probably lost tens of millions of dollars to, with China replicating different pieces of yours and other artists. So having this technology and allowing us to be able to verify authenticity and true ownership is going to do a whole lot for artists and just the creators economy, right? Maybe speak to how you've with CryptoMonkz, how you've been able to really narrow down on this new tech, and how you how this whole thing got started.
Yeah, well, basically, Josh reached out to me probably around, I remember it was around the time, I think it probably was like September, around the time I first got out here for school. And I can remember him saying, he wants to do this NFT project. And at the time, I had been hearing a lot about NFTs, definitely been seeing it on Instagram. What I'm saying? Definitely was something, as being an artist, something I was thinking about getting into myself, what I'm saying? But you reached out to me and sent me like a couple of videos to watch. So I really like watched those videos, and then after watching those videos, it really made me realize, okay, like this NFT stuff, this is something new, but it's definitely the future for artists. And I feel like it's just amazing, what I'm saying, that something like this has come along for artists. I just look at, like I said, my mom's an artist, her doing art her whole life, especially being a Black woman. It's always been like really hard for her to, like, get opportunities being an artist. So like now in this modern era where it's like, I guess it's so much easier just to like put your work out there, and then people can see it, and then you could, like Josh said, like retain like ownership for it. Because throughout my entire like art career, even before like I had thousands of followers, people were still stealing my work. I remember like one of my first experience, like when I was in middle school, like I left one of my drawing books at school, and I was real like upset. And I remember when I got back to school, I found the drawing book in the lost and found. And when I seen the drawing book, like it was a whole bunch of, I'm looking through the book, and then I see like people were stealing the pages out of the drawing book, like there were pictures missing, and at that moment, like I was just so upset, like, wow, people are stealing my artwork. But like, I feel like even after like months or like years passed on that moment, it just made me realize, like, wow, like my work is that good that people want to steal it. So like, it just made me become appreciative of that. You know what I'm saying? The fact that even people want to steal my work, you know what I'm saying, is something I could appreciate, But now that we have NFTs, it's very exciting, you know what I'm saying? Because it's a new space, and it's so much, you know what I'm saying, that so many possibilities that could come from this space. And I'm just excited to really get started, because this is really like the beginning of it. So I'm excited.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, we've been working, hand in hand with the art so closely, just as we do on a number of projects. But man, this art, I must say, it's like you took it up a notch. Like you've always been great, but you always find there's always, it seems like as months go by, your craft, you get more settled into it, and your design style just matures. And I'm seeing that with the design of the weapons and the armor, and just some of the nuanced things that are within the art. Maybe speak about the inspiration that you've been able to pull from other NFT projects that are out there, or things that you're seeing in the market.
Yeah, I coming into this project. I remember when Josh had first told me like the idea of CryptoMonkz. It made me think back to a picture that I'd done a long time ago. That I sent it to him, and off back, I'm like, this is definitely. I feel like I could pull inspiration from this image. It was kind of like a random image that I had just made, but from that point, like I kind of pulled the inspiration from that image, and then like this in terms of the style, like in my past, like I did like a lot of like boom docs, like anime influenced work. So like I kind of like pulled back towards that, because I know, remembering like just like the whole like the theme of NFTs, like when like this, you have to like think of efficiency, but quality is always going to be important regardless. So I knew for that specific style was something that I knew I would be able to like put out in like at a decent rate that wouldn't be taking me a longer time like some of my other work. So like I found to stuck with that piece, and I knew in the past a lot of people, and still people like really like that style that I used to work with. So like
Yeah.
I thought of like sort of bringing that back here in a way, and then it really like I was really excited myself to see like how it came out, and how like the different variations have been coming. It's really just exciting to see it, a project put together like this.
No, it's so cool. I'm so excited for everyone to see, once they mint and they can actually see their monks, because I mean, you did such an amazing job with it. Maybe speak
Thank you.
about what's the biggest accomplishment, right? We know that you've been in the space, you've been designing since you were a kid. You have your own business that you run. You have partnerships that are in place. What what do you think is your biggest accomplishment as to date?
At this moment, I personally feel like my biggest accomplishment is something that happened recently that I can't speak on yet, but I'm definitely
Come on.
looking forward to mentioning it.
Oh, come on.
But right, I can't. Y'all gonna see it eventually, but I'm excited to mention that. But from right now, my biggest accomplishment definitely would have to be being on the Steve Harvey show. You know what I'm saying? It's that moment that you're on TV. You know what I'm saying? So it's like
Yeah.
it's an amazing moment. And it was
Yeah,
a
that's a
moment that
good one.
happened it was like the blink of an eye. So it's like it's a moment that I look back on. It just seemed like it happened so fast because it really did happen fast. But it was a moment that like even to this day, people you Barbie show when people see that, you know what I'm saying, just off back, people just get excited of hearing that
Right.
information. So that
That
constantly
was,
reminds me like, wow, that was definitely a moment.
yeah, absolutely.
I gotta ask, was he a down to earth dude?
Yeah, I really didn't get much time to talk to him except when I was like actually on the show. Like the we talked a little longer than what actually played on TV, but he was, it was pretty smooth. Everything was put together, organized well. So I was just, happy to be there. I was young, just just being in that space was enough for me.
Absolutely.
Right on.
So we know Snoop is a huge NFT collector. Is there any chance we see Snoop Dogg as a collector of CryptoMonkz? If you can't say, it's okay, but thought I'd ask.
I hope so. Personally, I don't have a close relationship at all with Snoop Dogg. Just being honest, I did do the album cover for him, but it was one of them things. Really, like where you talking to the third man, what I'm saying, or the fourth, fifth man, what I'm saying. So it's like, he's definitely a person on my list, like of people that I hope to meet one day, because I know once I meet him, it's locked in. But until then, what I'm saying, I definitely hope he tunes in because I'm excited to see this project, play out.
Hey Malachi, you said you were a fan of the Boondocks. That's funny, man. I haven't heard
Yeah.
that name in a while, but that was a great show.
Yeah, that's definitely one of my favorite shows of all time.
That was a
growing
great
up,
show,
I
man.
used to watch that show. Yeah, that show's awesome. And now that you say
Definitely.
that too, I can see kind of how you could reflect on that. But yeah, the style that you have, I think, is even better than this. But that was a great show.
Yeah, thank you.
Do you ever see yourself like designing like a cartoon or like a TV show like the Boondocks? Is that something that has ever?
Yeah, of course. I definitely I want to design so much. I got ideas for shows that, I hopefully plan to, in the next couple of years, get going really. That's one of the things I'm really trying to focus on. But I definitely got ideas for, several cartoons, that I know that I'm excited, what I'm saying, for the future, really. Just, for the world to see.
Hey, Malachi, a question came in. Are your prints one-off prints or are they collections?
The prints on my site, they're not one of ones. None of them are one of ones. They all are sold. Like, there's several copies of them.
Awesome, awesome. Any other questions that came through? Nikki Ross says, I'm new to NFTs and crypto. All of the art is dope so far, and I know how business-minded Jang is and how big the work Patrick has done, how far that can go. Where do you guys see CryptoMonkz going in the future? So maybe Malachi, pointed at you. Where do you see CryptoMonkz going into the future?
Man, I'm excited. I'll be telling my family every time I talk to Josh. I feel like I'm gonna be a billionaire the next day. I'm being honest. So I get real excited. So like everybody I've been telling, I'm very excited. You know what I'm saying? Just to see like, the people, the audience is gonna reach, you know what I'm saying? Especially with this, just being the first NFT project I'm a part of. I hopefully plan to, release, other projects, you know what I'm saying? But this being the start, you know what I'm saying, the beginning is always exciting. So I'm very excited.
Yeah,
Awesome, man. Nikki says you've definitely accomplished so much so far, bro, at such a young age. Huge congratulations. So, yeah, I'm
Thank you.
really excited to see how everything pans out. And the art is like the foundation of everything. And then moving forward, the community we're building, the alpha that's going to be distributed to the community. I think Jang spoke a lot about it last night, but the different people in everybody's network that are going to be joining up and sharing some incredible things in the crypto world, of course, on top of the Monkz art. So super pumped for everything as well. Is Malachi going to be part of us Metaverse Warriors? Are you going to join the Metaverse with us, Malachi, as a fellow monk?
Man, the metaverse, man, that's definitely a new space that I got to do some more research on myself. But I'm definitely want to be a part of this. You know what I'm saying. I definitely got to be a part of it.
Love it, bro. So for everyone listening in, let us know if you have any other questions. I think we hit the end of the questions so far, but yeah, I don't know, Malachi. Anything else you want to share at this point? Patrick, Josh, Jang, Henry, Chinter, any questions you have for Malachi? Stories to tell?
I mean, yeah, we've been working closely together, but Malachi, man, I just have to say it's been a real pleasure working with you. And just watching this whole thing kind of play out over the last few months too, with the exposure you've gotten and the things you've been able to turn up has been absolutely phenomenal. And I have mad respect for you, dude. You do amazing work, and it's been really, really fun working with you every single night on this.
Thank you. I really appreciate that. Thank you.
Yeah, it's great, man. Yeah, I think what you're doing is awesome, and I'm always excited every time Josh has a new drop for us, and he's dropping stuff for us to look at. It's like one of the most exciting parts of the day. But yeah, and I
That's
look forward to
hard.
working with you for a lot longer on this, man. This is great.
Thank you. Me too. Me too. For sure.
Hey, so what's it like? I mean, now that you know you're kind of like a well-renowned artist, you've sold tons and tons of art in the past, but out of all this stuff, like what was the moment where you realized like you're gonna make a career out of this? This is what you want to do. Obviously, you've had this artistic talent for a really long time, but you know, like when I was looking at crypto, I always wanted to be full time in the crypto, and then I remember the exact day that it happened. Right, it was October 17th, 2016 is like the day, right? But is there anything that you can point to where you're just like, yeah, I could do this. I can be an artist, right? I can make a living
Yeah.
doing this.
Yeah, pretty much. It was like in 5th grade. I remember that was the first moment I started like selling my pieces. I would sell like to my classmates, do drawings for them for like $5. But it's like at that
Oh, really?
moment, I knew I
That's
loved art
awesome.
so much. So I'm like, and when people used to ask me like what I want to do when I grow up, it's like I want to do what I'm doing right now, and that's what I've been doing. So it's like I just want to keep on keeping on.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's sick. Yeah, that's awesome. So someone stole your book. They're probably slinging your art on the side, huh? Making some side
Man,
hustle cash.
I actually have an iPad that was stolen from me. It was like an iPad Mini with some of my definitely some hard pieces on there for
Yeah.
sure. But that joint was stolen, and now no telling where it's at. It could be erased. It could just be out there, but
Give it
our
like
world may never
give it
know.
like 10, 15 years, Malachi. It'll surface on eBay for like fucking 30 ETH, dude.
Right. For real.
All right. Oh man. And we all know 30 years ETH's going to be $1 million a coin, right? So
So there's some
yeah, man.
celebrities that we don't know of that have reached out for commission pieces or album covers or any of that cool stuff.
I'm really anxious to hear what the secret is too.
Yeah, I have like it's definitely like a lot of celebrities, I'm being honest, that reach out to me, but a lot that, would just sending compliments, honestly. Some that just like they would reach out for commission, but and a lot don't follow through, being honest. They would reach out but then not respond. I've had a lot of that in the past.
Yeah, we had a lot of celebrities like NBA players specifically, Damian Lillard, Zion Williamson. They've all supported you. I'm sure I've mentioned that to you a couple times, but big collectors of you.
Yeah.
So when you're on the Steve Harvey show, were you scared?
Nah,
Right? No, not at all.
I wasn't. Like I was just having this conversation with one of my friends the other day. Like, I personally don't feel like I'm a shy person because I feel like to any person I can have a conversation with you and I can really talk. Really, no matter what your level is or who you are, I'm just a conversation like a conversation. Just be excited to talk if it's something I want to talk about. And of course, the stage being on the Steve Harvey show, it made me like. It was just a moment of great excitement. Like people asked me if I was nervous, but I was just very very excited. Like I can remember right before the doors opened, like you couldn't like take the smile off my face with a knife if you tried to. Like that's how excited I was.
Yeah, that's a big moment in history, man. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Nervous? You hear this guy talk, dude? He's a
I know,
smooth
yeah.
operator. What do you mean nervous?
I know.
So Malachi, I'm interested. When you got brought on to the Monkz team, I'm curious in which way did you start conceptualizing what the Monkz were going to become? Because obviously we've seen some artwork so far. We saw some of the bare naked Monkz at the first art drops, the sneak peeks, and now we're starting to see the backgrounds develop, the clothing develop, maybe even some of the weapons, the armor develop. I'm curious, like, where was your headspace at when you sat down with a blank canvas, with the goal to build out and conceptualize these Monkz?
Yeah, well, a lot of credit, to Josh and the team for definitely like, sending through, exactly really making my job easy for them, just knowing exactly what they wanted, what I'm saying, for me to create. So all I really had to, just come up with the look, what I'm saying, that was something I knew wasn't going to be hard. I just had to, it was just something that had to be done. So I knew I was just going to do it. And like I said, I pulled inspiration from an older image that I did that really, the style was different, but I knew like that aesthetic was something that I could keep within these Monkz, and which I did. So like keeping like that, saying that, like I said, that pulling from that boondock sort of like style. I knew like going in like, okay, I couldn't like shade this very detailed. So like I had to go with a basic like one layer shade or one layer highlight. So I'm like, it's certain decisions I gotta make to, so I know that I could be very efficient with it, but also put out, like I said, quality. So I'm like, just going into it, it's just like, it was just making those small decisions, which really weren't hard. Those are like decisions that take like, seconds to like, or like just a couple of minutes to really like figure out. So like, that was pretty much the process, but it really wasn't extremely difficult or anything like that.
What about what was your favorite trait to design?
Ooh, I did like drawing the one of the super monks, but that was the most. I'm not sure if I can mention it yet, but
Yeah,
that one I definitely did like drawing the most. But in terms of the traits, I did enjoy drawing probably the weapons.
yeah. What was the most difficult, would you say?
Most difficult. Uh, I don't know. I don't really think one was more difficult than the other when it came to anything.
The,
It's
the,
hard for me to find like when it comes to drawing like stuff to be like extremely like difficult. Like I feel like it's a mental thing
the
when it
Negan,
comes to art for me sometimes.
the Negan bat with the nails in it. That's super nice, super detailed.
Hey, thank you.
And also the samurai helmet is incredible. Yes,
Thank
some of
you.
my favorites. What about you guys? What are your favorites from the collection that you've seen? Maybe ask the audience, like, what are some of your favorites?
I don't think I can
Sub-Zero.
say which one I like the most yet because it's not out yet.
Okay.
Oh my god, dude. You guys are killing me. You're killing me. Because it means I haven't seen him
I don't
yet.
know if it's been released yet, but I gotta say, maybe I'll drop a little hint here. My favorite one is the laser eyes.
Oof.
You know?
We got a question from Father T-Boy. He says, Malachi, you sound like a modern day, I'm going to butcher the pronunciation of this one, a modern day Basquiat.
Basquiat.
Much respect, my brother. Basquiat. Who is your favorite artist is the question. Who
Thank you.
inspired you to become
I
who you are?
appreciate that. My favorite artist is my mom. Like without a doubt. I was just
Aw.
saying it. Like when coming, it's a picture that hangs in our house that my mom's did, and I'm like, this is the picture. Like me as an artist that definitely has had the greatest inspiration on me as an artist. And I think I've just been blessed, like saying, to have like artists in my household that I could really like be inspired from. That I really didn't feel the need to like look for other artists to be inspired from. Like I definitely like, there were artists like the Picasso's, the Michelangelo's that I really like looked at their work and be like, they're great. You know what I'm saying? Like Michelangelo in particular, like the Renaissance art era is like definitely like an era of art that I like really love and that I really like pull a lot of inspiration from. Is just that era as a whole. But like my mom, without a doubt, is the most influential and the most inspiring artist to me.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to immediately react with awe, but that's just so damn sweet, man. Like,
Thank you.
Oh, we got one here. What one postmaster said, what memorable responses have you had to your, like, maybe what's your most favorite like response of someone, like a memorable response that you've got of your work?
Ooh, man, that definitely takes some thought, that question right there. But off back, I would have to say probably the Snoop Dogg one. That had the biggest reaction out of me when he commented on my picture and said that he wanted to make his album cover. Like, I don't know what other comment he could have made that would have been better than that. You know what I'm saying?
That's
Like,
big.
that probably was the best one.
I have a
Yeah,
story about
that's
Malachi recently.
amazing. Yeah.
You know, we used to fly artists to LA once a month to do, you know, just an introduction into who they are. And you know, collectors like knowing about, you know, the artists that they're supporting. We flew him to LA. I think it may have been either his first time in LA or second, but maybe second.
It was like my
Yeah.
third time in LA.
Okay. So he met the photographer was my brother-in-law, and he was capturing Malachi, and they really hit it off. And you know, my brother-in-law, he lost his mother a couple years back, and you know, his mother, like all of our mothers, mean the world to us. And so 4 months ago, his wife reaches out to me and says, "Hey, Josh, it's a big ask, but I thought I'd ask you. I know you guys are busy over there, but is there any way Malachi can commission a piece with my mother and you know, our newborn baby like pictured in there?" I said, "Wow, that's a crazy concept because obviously his daughter, you know, she's never met her grandmother, and the grandmother being such a figure in his life, that would be an incredible depiction." So I called Malachi and I said, "Malachi, man, I know you're super busy, but is there any way, you know, we can commission you on this piece because we want to gift it to him for Mother's Day?" Malachi was like, "Man, no problem. I'd love to do it. He's a great guy." And we have it on tape. I'll share it with you guys one day, but she presented it to her husband on Mother's Day. And when he opened that image, he broke down to his knees and just cried tears of joy because if you guys can imagine, it's his mother sitting on a chair and the baby is on her right knee, and so they're together. And I'm telling you, it was such an incredible moment that they captured on film. So you know that you know, I'm always appreciative of the time you put in your work, and that was something that will obviously be memorable for a long time for that family.
Yeah, I appreciate that. And that just you saying that, it just made me think like I feel like that's really like one of the main reasons I create art. You know what I'm saying? Is to see that beautiful reaction out of people. Cause I just know anytime I'm working on a piece, like you can ask anybody that I'm around, like I'm just constantly like showing people the progress, you know what I'm saying? Cause I just love for people to see my work. That's why I'm just like Instagram is amazing for me be able to just share my work like that. You know what I'm saying? Like my intention is not all the time, even it's not even money sometimes. It's just like just people seeing what my work, you know what I'm saying? That sometimes is just like the number one like thought in my head. Like I can't wait till people see this. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, well, man, that's what's so cool about the metaverse is some of these 3D galleries that I've been touring around, right, where you can actually see the collection, the NFT collections of, you know, people that are purchasing. And it's some incredible galleries out there. I'll send you one. We got to get one for you. We got to get one for the monks, for folks that are creating monks.
Sure.
So yeah, real cool stuff down the pipeline.
Sure.
You know, Malachi. So I don't know if this turns into like a dating show, but you've just I don't know if you're single either, man, but Postmaster says only thing better than would have been for you to do some album cover and date my cousin Sasha Banks. So, you know, there's offers out there. But in a more serious note, dude, I've been doing a little stalking on your Instagram going back. Literally, your first post was 424 weeks ago. I don't know how many years that is, about 8 years or so it
Wow.
seems. Which is huge. But I'm curious. It looks like you started like, you know, actual putting the pen or the pencil, colored pencil to paper back then. At what point did you make the shift to the digital art? And is that pretty much where your art comes from now? Do you use all digital creations? Or do you do any hand-drawn stuff still?
That's a wow. But I started doing digital art around the time that I got that iPad that I mentioned that was stolen, and that had to be around like I was just talking about this the other day, but like I think like 2014 or so was like around the time I started first doing digital art, and of course it was like a progressive like just learning, you know, how to maneuver with it, because you know at first I was like, you know, so used to so used to physical, you know, traditional color pencil, pen, pencil, you know what I'm saying? That's all I was really used to. And it just as learning to establish the difference of how to work with paper and how to work with digital, you know what I'm saying? That was just, you know, something that took just a couple of years to really like figure out. And it really, honestly, probably didn't take a couple of years. Probably just took a couple of months. But after I figured that out, that's really when felt I was able to get in a position where I would be able to do both. You know, majority of my work now is digital, but like right now on my Instagram stories, some work I'm doing like with pen and pencil. So like every now and then, I pretty much I'm always sketching, you know what I'm saying, regardless, you know what I'm saying, I'm always sketching on it. So if it's some paper in front of me and I have a pencil and I'm writing something, it's probably going 9 times out of 10 it's going to be a sketch of something on that paper, just because it's like a natural like instinct of mine. But like, you know, I'm always writing on paper and drawing on paper, and still I don't think that will ever stop.
Love it, man. Fully obsessed in the best possible way.
I gotta ask a question, just because it kind of, while you're talking, it kind of spawned in my head. Do you actually do you have a favorite medium that you prefer to use? Like, is pencil and paper the kind of the bread and butter? Is it your favorite to use? Do you have a favorite that you like use most?
Yeah, when it's not digital, it's definitely like, you know, just pen and paper and pencil, you know what I'm saying, color pencil. That was pretty much, and markers. That's like the basis of like what I was working with and I'm still working with now.
Right on.
Malachi, question came through from Squaba. He says, "What is your favorite video game or book or TV shows?" Maybe with the intention of like, what's your inspiration from you get from your art, or just in general, what's your favorite video games, books, or TV shows?
My favorite video game is 2K. But as growing up, my favorite video game, it was this game called Little Big Planet, which I love to play because it's like a world like you could really just like create, which is probably why I loved it so much, because you just like would build and create and build and create, which is like I felt it was a perfect game for me. Like growing up, I played a lot of Sims and a lot of like Little Big Planet, and of course a lot of 2K. But those games in particular, you know, I realized that the reason I loved them so much because I just had full, you know, creative control of the world. You know what I'm saying? It was just that as a child, you know what I'm saying, it's just something that, you know, all kids will just love, you know what I'm saying? Well, like, at least, you know, children like me, you know what I'm saying? So that was just definitely my favorite games growing up. My favorite book all time is the Bible. But another one of my favorite books is the autobiography of Malcolm X. Definitely, that was one of the first like books I can remember reading that really like, you know, stuck with me. You know what I'm saying? Just the story as a whole was just like that was something like I could definitely probably like just carry on to me as a human. You know what I'm saying? Because Malcolm X is a person that I remember. You know, my father, you know, he just talks about a lot. You know, especially growing up. So like reading that book was like something that my siblings had read too. So like it was something that I definitely felt like it was impactful to me. And my favorite movie, like, that's something, and TV show, that's something that changes all the time. But my favorite TV show probably is of all time might be the Burn Notice. That's probably the first thing that comes to mind. I love that show.
Love it, man. Love it. Hydra says, "Love hearing the personal side of your journey with the art. What inspiration, if any, do you draw from people or places in your life when you draw your art or create your art? Example, do you model faces on people you know in person, or is it your talent all in your head imagination? Do you take inspiration from like real life stuff, or is it just from your head, or a combination of both?"
Yeah, definitely a combination of both. You know, I take inspiration from literally anything. You know, I could be inspired from anything in this physical world because anything is art. You know what I'm saying? So anything is able to, you know, inspire you. Really, you know what I'm saying? So like, it's easy to like for me to just be inspired. I always like when I'm around people. Like it's funny to say, but like when I'm looking at a person's face, I'm really like looking at the color palette of their face sometimes. Like okay, this person is probably about this skin tone. It's like it's something that it's like a vague thought that just pops in my head sometimes. Like, and I just sometimes just think about like how I would draw this person's face. Like it's something that just randomly comes in my head sometimes all the time when I think that just comes from me, being an artist and a creator. You know what I'm saying? That's something that just, is always with me. But like I really am inspired from everything. A lot of my work is like, media influence when it comes to like sports or, music. So like, those are two like heavy, aspects of my life, which is why my work.
Absolutely.
Awesome. Yeah. Josh, you got something?
No, while you were saying that, when you meet people, you're looking at their face and, the textures. Sounds real romantic. I bet you tell all the ladies on campus that, huh?
I love your hex code. I love your hex code, Like you're thinking in digital art now.
Those Pantones, yeah.
I'm dead.
Have you ever hit a girl with one of the, let me draw you like one of your French ladies or like one of those lines? Have you ever pulled out a movie line like that?
Nah, I ain't never had to.
Oh, right on. Okay. Maybe it's just my corny ass. Right on.
Malachi, who?
Salazar is asking, have you ever dove into anime in either way, either watching it or drawing it?
Yeah, a little bit. I watched, of course, like the basic, like Dragon Ball Z, a little Dragon Ball Z, and Naruto growing up. But I don't know. People don't. A lot of people don't consider Boondocks an anime. I feel like it should be considered an anime. I mean, of course, like I said, that's one of my favorite shows. But recently, I just watched Yusuke, which is probably like one of my favorite animes I've ever seen.
Awesome. Good stuff. Looks like questions have dried up. If you guys have any last minute questions, we've been on for almost 45 minutes now. Drop them down below in the AMA questions channel.
Malachi, one thing. So when you got like Snoop Dogg, that's such a like iconic, like that's such an amazing experience. Do you have anyone else? Is there anyone else that you're like you have your eyes on? That's like, man, like this is the next person that I want to commission a piece from. Do you have someone that you have set on?
Not necessarily. I feel like at this moment in time in my life, honestly, I've been thinking like I have to meet these people now. Like I feel like I've been such in this digital world for so many years. Like I feel like I'm at the point where like I have to physically like meet these people. I have to shake hands with them. They have to hear my voice. You know what I'm saying? And they have to hear my voice and my art. You know what I'm saying? And let it all speak together. You know what I'm saying? Because I feel like once that all comes together for people, for like just a lot of people, my voice and my art. My art is my voice. But like my physical voice, once that all comes together for people, like they will really like see who I am and be able to appreciate me more for just art, but just just who I am. You know what I'm saying? What I stand on.
Yeah, 100%, dude. And who would that be? Who would that be? Do you have someone in mind? Like who would you want to go meet?
But yeah, right now I ain't gonna lie. I've been thinking one of my top celebrity that I want to meet right now is probably Young Thug, just because I feel like once I meet Young Thug, we bound to create together. Either Young Thug or Kanye. Kanye is easily number one in terms of the people like celebrities I would love to like collaborate with. He's number one on my list, but Young Thug is definitely up there because I've done a single cover for him in the past, and he's seen like acknowledged my work on social media before. Like there was a point where he deleted all the pictures on his Instagram and had my drawing as the only picture on his page and said, "This is the greatest picture ever." So I'm like, the moment I meet Young Thug, I feel like it's on.
It's on. I love that.
So we're gonna have to make that happen. Yeah, man. So
That's awesome, bro.
So let's see. We've got Jerry Smith says, Malachi, what's your favorite NFT project? Other than the Monkz, I guess that would be, right?
Yeah, the Monkz is probably my favorite NFT project. I can't say any other one is my favorite. Even if when I've seen NFT projects, I haven't had one that I really could just say, "Oh, this is my favorite." You know what I'm saying? My favorite would have to be this one.
Love it.
It was not scripted. for the
Vajragini says, Dear Malachi, are lady monks / nuns in your future? With a fingers crossed emoji.
I hope so. We already it's in the works, so Most definitely.
It's in the works. Should we take that as a yes? Yes, no, maybe so. We get a heart emoji in response. So positive.
I say take it as a yes.
Hey,
Mm.
I got a question real quick, just because I'm super curious. I'm looking at all the different detail you have on these photos, but are the pictures that you've drawn, man? I'm looking at the one where you have a bunch of kids in Chicago. And it's
Mhm.
the Glow Gang. And it's sick. That piece is fucking sick. But how long does it take you to do that? How long do you work on these pieces on average?
It just depends, like in terms of how much time I have. But like the app that I use to draw, it like accolades like all the time that I've spent on that canvas. So like it will show me like the amount of time that I've spent like working on a piece. Like I could go look back at that piece and it would tell me that
Oh, that's sick.
that basically I spent about it told me like the last time I worked on it. So like right now it says it tracked 32 hours on that Chicago piece.
Wow.
That
Oh wow, really?
yeah. So like in total, that's probably like how long it takes, you know what I'm saying, to work on certain pieces, like when you add it all together of all the time I spent. But that's just on that piece. Like if it's a lot more people, like it definitely would take a lot more time. But that piece in particular, that's honestly probably my favorite piece I've ever done. Just based off the feedback, like
Yeah.
being from Chicago and then having pretty much I know pretty much every person on that picture seen it. The only person I don't know if they seen it was Kanye. But having like everybody on that piece like react to that image, like on my actual page, that was a great moment. That was up there. That was up there for sure.
What part of Chicago are you from?
I'm from it's about 15 minutes from the city. It's an area called Dixmoor. I'm trying to put that on the
Okay.
map next.
Yeah. Yeah, I stayed last 3 years in the Loop, man. I love Chicago.
Oh, for sure. I love it too, man.
Malachi, I got one for you. Since this is your first NFT project, and obviously taking a look at your Instagram, your website, you pulled together full pieces of art, one at a time. What's it like designing and creating this art in layers? I'm not sure how many we have at this point, but I'm pretty sure it's well over 10 different layers. What's it like for you, kind of designing piece by piece to create and ensure that all 3,333 pieces are going to look incredible?
Yeah, that in particular, like that's something that wasn't hard for me at all because all my pieces like are already like made in layers. Like I'm used to working with layers all the time because layers is the easiest way to make sure the pieces are clean. I can know what part I'm working on. Like layers is something I've been working with since I've started doing digital art. So like just having it being part of this project was like it was easy. It wasn't even an adjustment really. It was just me keep on doing what I was already doing.
Got it. Yeah, I have the office image up on my screen right now. So it's like, would good old Michael Scott, would his suit be one layer, his white shirt be another, his head be another, and then the background is another?
Yeah,
Is that
actually, it's a lot more detailed than that. Like it's like a skin would be a layer, and then like one element of the
Shadows.
shading would be another layer, then another element of the shading would be another layer, then one element of the highlight would be like it's like very intricate.
awesome? Awesome. What else do we have in here? We've got Father T Boy says Thug is my favorite artist, and then he says, "What cover did you do? Did you do a cover for Thug, or was that
Yeah,
Snoop Dogg he was mentioning?"
I did one for Young Thug back in middle school. It was like in 2016. For one of his songs called Gangsta SIHSHIT. But he eventually changed the cover because I think it was some copyright issues because of what the image was. It was an image of like him as a black Chucky, which is something. It was really the same situation with like Snoop Dogg, where he's seen the image and wanted to make it his cover. It was the same situation. So my goal, is to definitely do some work for somebody in the future where we collaborate on the cover together, where it's not that they seen the picture, but like we actually put our minds together and create something. That's really a top of my list.
Good stuff. Good stuff. We've got a couple people typing. Guys, any other? Oh, here we go. We got Jeff. You seem to have connections in the music space. do you see some of your favorite artists releasing music as NFTs? Is that a space you've looked into, music NFTs?
I have been seeing a lot of these artists have been getting into NFTs. But I definitely myself, that's something I honestly want to do myself, release music with NFTs. So that's something I want to do soon.
Yeah, I like the
I see one of your most recent Instagram posts is you on Spotify. What's that all
Yeah.
about?
Basically, when I came home from winter break, like my brother, he had been making music on this app called BandLab. So when but just for the fun, like it was never like he had aspirations to be a rapper or anything. So he's just making music, and another one of our homies just making music on this app. So when I got home, I made that song on the app, and I'm like, I actually like the way this sound. Like all my brothers that got on the song, so we like, let's just go to the studio and record it. You know what I'm saying? Just to have the song. You know what I'm saying? So we did that. That's really what it was. We just wanted to make something because we always like be freestyling around the crib or whatever. But like when it got to like, being in that studio for the first time, it was definitely like a dope experience and something like I felt like, okay, I got to keep on doing this because like it's just fun being here. And it's just like I love creating already, and creating music is just like another form of creation. So it's like, why not? And then when it comes to creating music, I'll be able to like, when it comes to like the creative aspect, I'll be able to like creative direct my own, videos or my own like covers, you know what I'm saying? Like, so all the stuff I would want to do for other people, I could do that for myself. So why not do it?
Incredible, man. Dude, we're not even halfway through January of 2022. You've already got your first single out. You're up to launch your first NFT project. What's the future look for you, man? We got 11 and a half more months of the year.
I'm gonna be honest. I'm very, very, very excited for the rest of this year, and then just the future in general. I got so many plans. I really been locked in lately, so like I'm excited for the rest of this year because I'm pretty sure like it's gonna get real. It's gonna get real for sure for the rest of the year.
Bullish on 2022. You heard it here first.
Just bullish on Malachi in general, bro.
Yeah, just in general,
excited about the project that you're keeping close to the chest too. Anxious to hear about it, man. Maybe the Monkz get a first look.
Man, I could definitely let you know. So I'll definitely let y'all know.
Awesome.
Nikki says Monkz should consider making specific pieces to gift to creators and influencers. For example, Gary Vee, Elon Musk, Snoop Dogg, to get more eyes on the project and blow it up. Any plans on, I mean, we've already seen I like to call it the rocket launcher with a rocket launcher NFT. It's the Elon lookalike with a rocket launcher on his back. If that becomes a thing, that would be cool. But Malachi, any plans for other influencers, other celebrities, musicians, etc. within Monkz?
Oh man, shoot! If that's what I get asked to do by the team, we'll see what goes on. You know what I'm saying?
And he might have already been asked.
Oh, yeah.
So
yeah.
see what happens with those one-of-ones. Those one-of-ones are going to be nice.
Yeah.
That's a great question, Shill. Just in general, can you
Shelby.
use this project for your education, Shelby?
That was a good question.
I would say
like
that's definitely.
like a school credit for I don't believe so.
Jang, you're gonna have to pull some strings to make that happen. Come on, man.
I tell you what.
But funny enough, we know the process. So we actually, one of our last company, we were going the process to be accredited. But it wouldn't have. It would be a little bit different than that. But I mean, the thing is, I think if you really like, you know what? I think even if you guys watched the Full Sam podcast with Gary Vee last night, he went on all talking about NFTs, and he's like, if you were to spend 50 hours just researching NFTs, like a lot of the stuff that we'll be bringing to this group and sharing with you guys and teaching you guys about, if you were to spend 50 hours in that space, he's like, it's way more valuable than any shit you're going to learn in school. The title, I don't think a lot of people really get, because right now we're in a space where it's kind of like Web 1.0. Like in Web 1.0, we had websites, and everyone had these websites, and they're like, oh, cool, like we have digital newspapers and digital magazines. Like, what a cool, like that's what they thought it was. right? And then we get to Web 2.0, then we start getting social networks. We start realizing there's all these other applications that we can build on this. But it became a lot more centralized, right? So now we have companies like Google and companies like Facebook and Instagram, where everything's kind of centralized between a very small amount of companies. But then you get to Web 3, and that kind of opens up a whole completely decentralized environment. In a way that now we have the same ability to create all of those apps and everything cool like that, but now in a way that can't be messed with on a blockchain and fully decentralized. And we don't even know the full grasp of that. Like when we come to NFTs and we look at NFTs right now, we're kind of looking at them, and most people are looking at them like the Web 1.0, right? Oh, cool, these are art. Right. And so we're just kind of starting to see people start to do things more with utility and what things can really be done with them. And I think it's really going to get to the point that it's going to influence it'll influence everywhere. It's kind of going to be like websites for a business, like before people thought they could operate without them. Now every single company has them. It's probably going to be similar to that. It'll be basically the receipts for everything, from houses, like the opportunities for fractionalized real estate, or even any fractionalizing any type of asset that most people are priced out of. Now all of a sudden can be fractionalized, and they're able to take advantage of that. And how many areas does that open up? It can kind of do, it'll really start to influence everywhere. And so you take the time to spend in there. Maybe you don't get credit in school, but I mean, you'll probably be able to make a heck of a lot more by being very well versed in the space, for sure.
It's a very long form way of saying you're not going to be able to get in business class credits for working on this project.
But the information that you obtain within the alpha community post mint, I think is going to be invaluable. You actually can. I'm actively participating in somewhere between 5 and 8 different alpha communities at any moment of any day. I literally have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 Discords open on my computer right now. It's nonstop. And when you get into this space, this NFT space, this crypto space, the gaming, the metaverse, the DeFi 2.0, the liquidity pools, the yield farm, it goes on and on and on. And if you're obsessed with it, or you want to reach a point where you're obsessed with it, whether you are employed right now, whether you're an entrepreneur, whether you're 100% all in on crypto NFTs all day long, the alpha community, the community itself, that is growing currently, that we've got almost 100 almost on right now. We've got thousands in the community right now, thousands more to come. We only have 33 to mint. I'm super pumped. I'm excited to see what becomes of this community, because I know I've spent anywhere between a couple $100s and many thousands of dollars on joining these alpha communities, these alpha groups on Discord. And I can tell you that the guys that you have on board right now, between Patrick and Josh and Jang and obviously Malachi, literally the foundation, the art behind the entire project, the community guys, Chinter, Henry, myself, everyone on the panel right now, we're excited to see what becomes of Monkz. And I know, like, I don't want to speak too much on it, because I know Jang and guys, you have a lot planned as far as roadmap goes. But the community itself is just one piece, believe it or not. But it is the essential piece. It's the part that pulls us all together and gives us a platform to share information, to educate, to bring in some of the brightest minds in this space and share them to you guys, to the holders of the Monkz, at no cost. Right? So that's going to be exciting. And to go back to Shelby, your question, right? Can it be used for class credit? Probably not. Can you gain more information, knowledge, education, and the biggest connections within this community? Absolutely. And for me, that's 100x more valuable than a class credit could get me.
And that's great, even to get to the point of, is like, that's why we're doing all of this. And you see, like, that's why we're starting as well. Like the main point of all of this is community, and to be able to bring everyone all together here. This is why as well. Like, we want you to get to meet Malachi, get to know Malachi. What was his life like? How did he get to where he is? Like, we want to get, and over the next little bit, you're going to get to know a little bit more of all of us. and that's really one of the main pieces that we want to be able to do here is really be focusing on that, and how can we develop and grow as a group. That's one of the things that you know, internet, you're already, yeah, one of the things that internet myself and our past businesses, like that was a main focus for us as well, something that we're both extremely passionate about building. And that was one of the things that I got really excited about, because I love stuff like this. I love being able to do and share information that we're learning about, and that's what's going to be really cool with the alpha group when you guys start to see it. Like I was just getting messaged earlier before this, and one of the guys that just got in, he got in like right at the deadline when I closed the test group for 100 people a while ago, and he had some things come up, but he just started like last week actually doing something. He got his first NFT. He's up like 12x on his first one, and he's so pumped. And it's like that's the thing that I love to see, is like seeing people get new wins. And the thing is, as long as you stick around the circle of influence, you stick close to the center of people that are actually doing it. If you guys were on the call with us yesterday, that was really how I think most people, but for me especially, that's the only reason I was able to do really anything. I got around people that were actually doing it. You know, I went to business school first, but I dropped out when I found out my business teacher had never run a business before. Right? I was like, how am I going to learn how to run a multi-million-dollar business when you've never made more than $40,000 in a year? Right? It's just not going to happen. And so had to go and find the people that were actually doing it. And just the same thing here. You get around people that are actually doing this in the space, that are actually making this money with NFTs or with liquidity pools or with DeFi or any of the other things, but they're actually doing it right now. And you get close to like one of my favorite quotes that was from Dr. DeMartini, is like, you can't stick your hand in a jar of glue without some of it sticking. Right? As long as you guys are going to stick around and hang out and come to the AMAs and ask questions and spend the time absorbing the information and researching and just and collaborating with everyone and masterminding with everyone, like you can't stick your hand in a jar of glue without some of it sticking. You're gonna just some of you it's going to take longer than others, but I can guarantee you the value that you're going to get out of spending time getting educated in the space is going to far exceed pretty much anything else you could do right now. And we're really pumped to be able to kind of cultivate and curate some of the best information for you guys to really kind of accelerate that path for you guys and make it easier and show you kind of some of the leading edge stuff that's going on right now. You know, like Patrick, just for fun the other day, some of you guys saw, just for fun, he's like, just to prove a point, like let me just throw together this liquidity pool. Found one in 5 minutes, throws together a pool, and it was doing like $2,000 a day. And me and Josh are sitting here like, what the fuck, man? Like, what are you doing, right? I would have never known anything like that if I wasn't surrounding myself by people like Patrick. You know, like it's one of the things that's going to make it, and it makes it a hell of a lot more fun as we go through this. Like we'll be doing live calls like this. Who knows? Maybe in the future we'll do in real life events. But it's something that I'm really passionate about and really excited to see you guys all grow together in the future. It's going to be fun.
Amazing, man. Yeah, and Jang, by the way, I updated my what do you call it? Your name, your username here, so you can address me by Rob instead of internet. But anyways,
Internet.
yeah, dude, I know we've got a lot of project overview calls, meet the team calls, whether it's in the Monkz Discord this week or in other Discords. We've got some big partnerships lined up, so that's exciting. We'll be going into a lot more detail on the stories behind our team members here. And this call obviously has been all about Malachi, right? Meet Malachi, meet the artist, meet the guy who has literally created this art over the past couple of months now to put it into your hands as the NFT, right? As the pass, as the access pass into this Monkz community as it continues to build. So yeah, keep your eyes out, keep your eyes peeled on Twitter and the announcement section above. We will be obviously notifying all of you within the Discord right here first before we notify anybody that hasn't joined the Discord over on Twitter for our upcoming calls. I don't know if you guys have anything else to share. What I'd love to do is for everybody right now, obviously everyone with a yellow name down below, you are already an enlightened monk. For everyone that's still a monk in training, a monk trainee, why don't we do this? Let's give away 10 spots right now for the first 10 monk trainees. First 10 monk trainees to say, Malachi, what's the special word? What's the magical word?
Malachi.
Malachi.
It is
Oh,
Malachi.
first
There we go.
Spelling
Spelling
matters.
matter.
First 10.
Better be getting it right, guys. Come on.
Does spelling count, Malachi?
Killing me.
Yeah, spelling count.
Spelling count.
Malachi. It's in his name. For the first 10, we're going to go through and enlighten Hydra, number 1. Let's see if I missed any. Malachi. Toby, you spelled it wrong, bro. You got to fix that. We can get everyone in right now. First 10. And yeah, back to you guys. I'm just going to enlighten some months.
Yo, Josh, do we got some cool announcements for some AMAs that you guys are gonna hear over the next little bit? Do we give them one?
Man, I think we've been holding things pretty tight to the chest. We got some really exciting community collaborations coming up. Maybe we let one out the bag tonight.
All right. Well, how about this? I'll let you pick.
Okay.
I'll let you be
One
the
that
one
I'm
to
really
pick.
excited about is a guy who was once an artist for Campus Cultures. He was actually the first artist for Campus Cultures. He goes by the name of Frankie Nines. Frankie Nines ended up, literally quitting a $4,000 a month royalty that we were paying him, and decided to go to London to explore blockchain. This is in 2018, mind you. So I thought he was a lunatic. Man, you're gonna stop everything you're doing and go explore digital currencies and future metaverses. Okay, great. Well, it was nice knowing you, and I'd love to continue the relationship if there ever is one. So obviously we kept really close. He was at my wedding. Frankie, he's a pioneer, and he ended up creating a company called Subducks. So Subducks is now trading close to 70 million in Ethereum. He's done really well with his community. He's helped Gary V with VFriends. He was a consultant on VFriends. He also helped Dapper Labs create the UI UX for NBA Top Shot. You probably heard him mention in last night's Nelk Boys interview with Gary V. He was coined the OG in the space. So next Tuesday, we'll be doing an AMA inside of Subducks community. It's going to be really fun. We're going to tell some fun stories. Obviously, we're building out our community. We've been really organic in our approach. Didn't want to go the sleazy pay influencers that don't really care about the project. So, in talking amongst ourselves, we've decided that sure, we're going to find strategic influencers to become monks and to promote and talk about what we're doing here. But what better than to partner with communities that we have some connections with, and that we also have invested into. So next Tuesday, we're going to be collaborating with Subducks at 6 p.m. Looking forward to it. Hope to see you guys there.
Yeah, it's gonna be good. One thing, if you guys can do, and maybe we'll start to do this a bit more. But if you guys go on Twitter and make a tweet and tag us about one thing that you guys are excited about the project. If you guys can go make a tweet, tag us, let us know one thing that you're excited about the project. And then, yeah, I think I would love to get Gary V and CryptoMonkz. Yeah, that would. I mean, this is the thing, is like once we get moving, there's gonna be a lot we can do. I don't think anything's really been done like this to the extent that we're gonna be able to do it. In this way, I think it's really, really gonna be something special that a lot of people are gonna really gravitate to, especially people that are wanting to really be on the cutting edge of the space and really know. Really get around people that are really making things happen. I think that's really, really attractive, and it's only getting bigger and bigger. And when people see this, like the type of shit that you guys can do is kind of ridiculous. It's between NFTs, liquidity pools, coins, DeFi protocols, yield farming. Like there's so many different ways that you guys can be making a ton of money out here. There is at the same time, like obviously disclaimer, like you can obviously lose a ton of money, and this is why it's extremely important to be around the right people. You don't want to just be trusting any random person that's never done this before. You can lose everything super quick. So you definitely want to make sure that you're around the right people, and that's why we want to really take this seriously and show you guys really what's working right now, so you guys can make the most of it. Awesome. Well, yeah, if we don't have any more questions, I don't know if any of you guys got anything else Malachi,
Yeah, we closed out all 10 spots, right?
We filled out all 10. It looks like a couple people missed it. What do you think, guys? Should we give away 3 more spots?
Go for it.
3 more spots. Malachi?
And you know what? And why? Like, we want to incentivize the people that really want to be here, right? If you guys are going to show up on the calls, I think those are people that definitely should be
Oh,
incentivized.
shit,
And so,
yeah.
like, you know, like it's the people that actually, you guys are all taking your time out to be here and support the project. And yeah, I just can't wait to see what we're able to all do together this year. It's going to be fun.
100%, man. Yeah, and keep in mind, everybody listening in, we still do have some more temples to release. The temples, of course, are the good old riddles, the games to for the quickest people out there, the quickest future potential monks out there, put it that way, to reach enlightenment, aka whitelisted. So we have a few more of those coming up until mint day. But yeah, let's give out 3 more spots. So the first 3 people to say, let's see, Jang, what's the special? What's the password right now? The next 3 that say this. What's it gonna be?
Monkz.
Monkz, go. Jackson, you got it. Jackson. Everyone, you guys are already enlightened. Training monks, monk trainees only.
Everyone's already enlightened here.
Right.
That's hilarious. We
All
should
right,
tell
guys.
people. You should tell people that aren't enlightened. They should probably show up to the calls. It's the easiest way. Oh, there we go.
Riccio and Travis, you got it, guys. All right. Well, with that said, that's all we've got. Malachi, Josh, any of you guys have anything else to say to bring us out? We'll shut this down now. We've got the recording. We'll post this in the recordings area for anyone that missed this or wants to catch a replay. And keep your eyes peeled on Twitter. Keep your eyes peeled on the announcements channel within the Monkz Discord right here. Next Temple tie is coming soon. We will, of course, announce that as well. We have some big partnership project overview AMA calls coming up. So if you want to get a chance to meet the rest of the team in more detail, be sure to show up there. Of course, we'll announce it. That's all on my end, guys. Thank you, everybody, for showing up live.
One thing for all of you guys that just got whitelisted as well. You guys just got access to the whitelist channel. If you look through the channels there, so there's a whitelist chat. There's also a submit your wallet chat now. So we gave you guys tons of time now at any point in time. Rob just posted the link in there. You guys can pop in there, submit your wallet, just make sure that you guys are good to go when it comes to mint day. So with that being said, love and appreciate all you guys. Thanks for you guys all coming out. Really looking forward to this year, and we'll see you guys soon.
See you guys soon.